The first step in the Yau method is to solve two centers opposite one another and then pair up and solve three edges of our cross. Okay, so the first step in the Yau5 method is to solve two centers opposite one another, and this is already assumed knowledge before watching this tutorial, so I'm just going to show you an example of solving the first two centers and not actually go in and teach you exactly how to solve two centers, because you should already know how to do that from learning how to solve the 5x5 cube initially. So I've got the 1x3 line here, I've got these two and this one, which we can attach together like so. Then I can attach this one to this one. And the last corner center is back here. And make my first center on yellow like that. Now I've got this block and this block, so I can make these into a 2x2 by doing RU to R prime, like that. And I can attach these two as well by doing that. Now I've got this block and the last one is back here. So I slice and solve. So that's the first step, is to solve the first two centers. You don't always have to solve the first two centers on white and yellow. If you're color neutral, it may be worth trying to solve the first two centers on other colors and getting used to being able to do Yau5 being color neutral. The next step in the Yau5 method is to pair up and solve three cross edges onto either the left-hand side or the right-hand side. Now, because I'm right-hand dominant, I'll be doing most of the turning over here and then storing the edges in the left-hand side. The most important thing to note with this step, and the really big advantage of the Yau method here, is that you can be very, very efficient when you're pairing up these edges, because you don't need to worry about the centers around this middle slice because they're not solved. Because they're not solved, look ahead can sometimes be a little bit tricky, but we have a lot more freedom in terms of how we can actually pair up our edges around this slice and then store them into our cross. Just like on the 4x4 using the Yau method, you should also solve these edges correctly relative to one another. So for example, if we were to solve the white and green edge here, then the white and blue edge would belong opposite it, and the white and red edge would belong above it, or the white and orange below it. So the most common way to do this is to use the layers in this M slice to create the edges and then store them into your cross. And here I'm going to show you a few examples of how we would do this. So in this example, I'm going to solve the orange and white edges first, because I see them all in this top layer here. So I've got this orange and white, this orange and white, and this orange and white. And what I can do is actually pair up these wings by doing a wide R prime. Then I need to figure out how to attach this one to these two. We can easily put this white sticker on the back here by doing like an R2B, like that. And then we can just slice these two up, like so, and then store this edge into our cross layer. After that, the next thing that I saw were actually these white and green edges. So I've got this wing here, and this midge here, like that. And this is, again, another really, really easy case. So you can do a U prime to solve that, to move that one into here, and then do a wide R to pair up these two. And then we can bring them both down and attach them to this last one, and then store it into our cross layer again. Notice here that when I put this one into the cross layer, I solved it correctly relative to this orange and white edge. So for example, if I was to do an L prime and then U, like that, then these two would be solved incorrectly relative to one another. So if the orange and white one was already in the cross layer, then this white and green one belongs above it, like that. After solving this one, it's time to choose one more cross edge. I don't really see anything here except for this white and blue piece, so I'm going to rotate above like this and check out what's going on over here. And well, there's either the white and reds or the white and blues. I think I'm going to go with the white and reds in this example. So what we can do is do something like this. So to pair up these two, this white and red midge with this white and red wing, we can go U prime, RU, R prime. And that's a really easy kind of trigger. So U prime, RU, R prime. And then we can go U prime, because this one's back here, we can do an R prime, then another U prime, and now these two can be sliced together and then placed into the cross layer just above the white and green edge. After we've solved two centers opposite one another, as well as three cross edges, it's time to solve the last cross edge as well as the last four centers, and I'm going to show you how to do that in the next video. But before I do that, I'm just going to do one more example of solving the first three cross edges efficiently. Okay, so I've solved two centers opposite one another, and now I'm going to solve three cross edges around the white face. Like I mentioned before, look ahead for this stage can be quite tricky and take a little bit of time to get used to. And it's important to make sure that you turn slowly and try and reduce the number of pauses that you do, as well as do these cross edges efficiently, because this is, like I said, quite a big advantage of the Yau method is being able to use this free slice, completely free slice, to pair up your cross edges very efficiently. So for example here, I've got these two white and green ones, and the white and green midge is down here. Now if we were to slice these like that, we'd get this case with the midge flipped. So instead what we can do to change the orientation of these two relative to this one is just do a U2 and then slice down, create this, and then store it into our cross layer. After the white and green one, the next thing I see is these two white and red pieces. So what I'm going to do is do a U, R, U, R prime, like that, to pair those two up. And now I need to attach these two to this one. We can do this in a number of different ways. What I would probably do is do a wide R prime, like that, as well as an R. Do a U to put it here, pair them up, and then put it into its place in the cross layer right above the white and green edge. For my third and final edge, the one that sticks out to me is the white and orange, because we've got this midge here, this wing, and this wing. Again, you'll find that there are so many different ways to do things. What I would probably do is attach this one first by doing a U prime, white R prime, then solve these ones by doing R U prime to put this one in the back here, slice these over, and then do an L U prime to put this one opposite the white and red edge. It will take you a bit of time to get used to looking for these cross edge pieces as well as solving them efficiently.